Has your piano teacher ever asked you to play the wrong notes on purpose? Probably not, is my guess. That said, I ask my students to do this, and I get a lot of heat in my comments for asking my public following to do this as well, or at least suggesting that they do. Now, let me explain why, because I recently got a comment challenging this idea, and I think it's because, first of all, it was a 1-minute short that didn't fully clarify, but also I think a lot of people don't understand fully how learning works in general. So let me start by sharing a Harvard study about the game of cornhole and how that actually relates to piano playing. It was really interesting that basically what happened is, I'm kind of butchering some of the details to tell it as fast as possible, but just imagine 2 groups of people, let's say like 10 each, right? And one group has never, well, both groups have never played the game. If you don't know cornhole, it's where you throw like the bean bag into the hole on the board kind of thing, right? So nobody's played the game before, and they're asked to practice or to warm up for a tournament by one group just says, throw the bean bag into the hole and try to hit it for 10 minutes straight. That's all you do. The other group is asked, why don't you throw everywhere but the hole? So the left, the right, above, underneath it, to the corners, even past the board and in front of the board. And what happens is they come back together. This is a true story, by the way. They come back together after like, I don't know, 15 minutes of practicing or something. And they have a tournament, the 2 groups that practice this way. And by like a huge margin, the group that won, you want to take a guess? Was the group that actually did not aim for the target. Now the reason for this is because every time they missed on purpose, they actually gained information about what doesn't work. In other words, they failed faster than the other group, and they failed with intention, thus learning what not to do, thus giving them all the tools they needed to get in the middle. Therefore, if we can apply this principle to the piano, we can actually take this really far, not just in playing the right or the wrong notes, but in so many areas. So today I'm focusing on the right or the wrong notes, but frankly, many of my shorts talk about this principle because it changed the entire way I thought about practice about 6 or 7 years ago when I saw this study. And sure enough, it's never failed me. So here we go. I think in the short I talked about, this is months ago, it was La Campanella with these. And I may have suggested like to do one note underneath. So instead of the F sharp, you do F natural, and then one note over, which is G natural. Right, so, right, on purpose. And then to do it with G, which ironically, now I'm missing the wrong note. Sounds terrible. And then, you don't want to just miss one note wrong. You could maybe go to the closest black key in either direction. So D sharp and G sharp. That one really bothers the ear training in me. This kind of thing. So what am I doing? I'm teaching myself that's not far enough, the D sharp, and that's too far, the G sharp, which wouldn't that be helpful when I have more muscle memory kind of information ultimately building towards the F sharp, which is the goal. Now, okay, common objection. Everyone says, well, wait a minute. If you practice it that way, then you're going to actually learn it wrong. And what if I do that in performance? And I have about 5 ways I handle this objection. But one of them is just think about the fact that you've already put in 100 reps, maybe 1,000. 2,000 reps on a certain passage like this, whether it's this piece or something else, and yet you still make wrong notes. So why is it that you've put in that many reps and that much time and you still don't get what you want to? I could throw it right back at you is what I'm saying and say, well, wait a minute, you've been trying to get it right and you're not, so why is getting it wrong a few times on purpose going to all of a sudden make you play it wrong? At least that specific wrong one. It just doesn't work like that. Now, I'm not saying you log 200 repetitions of the wrong note. Maybe that's just the misunderstanding, is that there has to be, a limited amount of this so that you learn from it and quickly ultimately get toward the right note, right? So When I'm first learning something, I may, for instance, do 5 repetitions of the F. I shouldn't try it that fast. That's 1 repetition. I do it 5 times. Then I do 5 of the G, and then perhaps I do 5 of D sharp, 5 G sharp. I've only put in 20 reps, and then now I go through and maybe do 15 or 20 reps of the right note. Now I messed it up. But you see how this works. Like, you're ultimately doing a lot more of the right one, and you're just gaining information at first on a few reps. Make it 3 for all I care. But there's always value in first missing it. So that's the first principle. Now, where else can we apply this? Basically anywhere. Imagine voicing, where I want to play the top note of a chord loudest. Out of these 3. But wouldn't it benefit me if I practiced getting the middle finger loud as well? Which is, it's not a wrong note, but it's the wrong goal, right? If I want to have the top be loud and I'm now making the middle finger loud, that's not my end result. Technically, that's wrong. Yet, what do? I gain information. Oh, see how I played it first so I can hear it? Then I add the soft ones later. And my ear now hears that. So no, I'm not trying to voice that in performance, but I become aware of it, which allows my ear to hear it and thus predict that one should be quieter, right? Even though I'm playing it louder right now. I hear it better now. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the thumb. Do, do. See? So now I can do the B louder. And now I can do the F sharp louder. Hear the difference? Now, because I've worked on that, it opens up the ability to play the top because I know what it should not sound like. And that rings out so much better, so. Okay, before you ask what that is, I just made it up. So anyway, channeling my inner Jacob Collier with all these crunchy, spicy cards and everything. In any case, see what we're really doing. I could make this video 2 hours. I could make it 5 minutes. It's probably already 5 minutes. But we're messing up on purpose with intention to learn from that other extreme so that we don't do that. We know the difference of sound, we know the difference of feel, and then when we go back to our real goal, it's like, oh, it's satisfying, right? Whether it's the right note, the right voicing, even the right pedaling. I mess up my pedaling on purpose because I go, wow, that's terrible, right? If you can hear the terrible, won't you be then more encouraged to play it more carefully? Right? But if you just try to hit your bullseye every time, you don't understand what is not the bullseye. You just know you didn't hit it, but you haven't actually trained for that. So throw it out if you don't like it. I understand this is a very kind of contrarian concept. I also will tell you, I've been doing this for 7 years, or at least 6. It's helped me to learn Rock 3. It's helped me to learn some of the hardest pieces in the shortest amount of time. And though I wasn't conscious I was doing this, I did use these same strategies when I did the Rite of Spring for solo piano. And I realized that, wow, actually looking back on it, I was doing everything but the piece. I was playing too loud, too soft, legato when it was written staccato, and all sorts of things that helped me to understand what not to do. If you haven't heard that performance, just simply check out Aaron Petit, Rite of Spring solo piano, and let the proof be in the pudding. There's hundreds of comments on there that are all like, how do you do this? And the answer is this video. I practice like this all the time. So if you want to learn more practice tips, there's a free piano guide in the description. There's also a club I run called the Key Learners Piano Club. You can try it out for a free week trial. See if you like it, see if you're learning anything from it, And you can see the About page in the description below. Looking forward to meeting you soon.